Hello, and welcome to the third part of our Quality Control Basics series of slideshows. In this third and final part, we're going to look at when to conduct product inspections, the types of product inspections you might do, and some examples of inspections in action. If you've seen the other slideshows in this series, you'll have already looked at inspection levels and the AQL. And today, when to inspect. So we already know how to set the number of samples to check and how many defects can be accepted. So with these settings and your detailed product specifications, a QC inspector can go into your supplier's factory and check your products and reach a conclusion about whether they pass or fail on quality. But an important question that you need to answer is, when should I do the product inspections? Inspections are really important for buyers who want to secure their supply chain. It's a fact that spending a few $100s on product inspections, where we check and fix issues early, can really reap a lot of benefits in the future. You could save weeks of delays, avoid needing to ship products quickly by air, which is expensive, and also avoid receiving lower quality products from your suppliers, which you've then got to either try and sell to your customers or simply cannot sell at all. There are typically 4 key types of product inspections that occur at different times throughout production, and you can see them here. So there are product inspections which catch problems early and those which verify quality before shipment. Big arrow there, that is the state of finished production. So first we look at pre-production inspections. These are great for at the start of production because they help things get off on the right foot and you can check the raw materials and components being used in production. Some sneaky factories might try to swap in cheaper materials or components to increase their margin, while of course decreasing your quality. So this needs to be kept an eye on. The inspectors will also be able to see that the operators are following exactly the right processes to create your products at great quality from the get-go. Next, we go on to during production inspection or DUPRO. This allows you to get a great idea of average product quality quite early on in the production process. And a benefit means that you're able to ask the supplier to correct any issues which are found before they take hold and affect all of the products which are being made. You can conduct this as soon as the first finished products come off the line, but these first few samples might not be representative of the whole order. So usually we say that it's better to think about doing a DUPRO between around 10 to 30% of the way through production. Now we move later on in production to the final pre-shipment random inspection, or FRI. Inspecting goods after they're made and packed is the standard QC solution for most importers. Your inspector will really check every detail, including counting total quantity and confirming the packaging is okay. These usually happen really quickly just before shipment. To avoid delays, inspectors usually start after all the products are finished being produced and almost packed, so 80% or more of the shipment is already being packed. And then finally, loading supervision. This helps you to make sure that the factory is shipping the right product in the right quantity and with the right loading plan. It could help stop sneaky suppliers from swapping out good products for poor quality ones just before shipment. Let's have a look at examples of 3 different inspection scenarios where we can see these inspections in action. Firstly, you're buying 5,000 widgets from a new supplier. You don't know this factory, they're new, so you need to be cautious and adopt inspection level 2. If we refer to the AQL tables, based on our purchase number of 5,000, we know that we need to select 200 samples to check. The inspection fails if we've got 1 or more critical defects, 11 or more major, or 15 or more minor defects. And because it's a new supplier, you might want your inspector to check all of the product functions on a few samples just to make double sure. This test obviously takes a little bit of time because they've got to go into quite detail checking each sample. For that, you'll choose special level S2, and this brings up 8 samples out of the 200 that need to be checked. 200 samples can roughly be checked by one person in one day, so a third-party QC firm like Sofeast would quote you 1 man day for this job. If it's a standard product and you've got flexibility with timing, a final pre-shipment random inspection should be great for this order. Example 2, you buy 30,000 watches from an unknown factory or factories. The reason we're talking about unknown factories is because your supplier has given orders to several workshops to produce your goods, but they won't tell you who. And these items are rather valuable per piece. So because of your lack of information, a stricter level 3 inspection is probably the most appropriate. The AQL tables tell us that we have to inspect 500 out of the 30,000 samples, and the maximum number of defects is 0 critical, 21 major, and 21 minor out of the 500. If a visual check on all samples and a function accuracy check on a few pieces is enough, it probably takes 2 to 3 man days to conduct this inspection. So when would we inspect? Your hands are tied here a little bit, because if the supplier refuses to disclose their supplier's factory information, you have to inspect the goods at only your supplier's premises. So that means that you'll be doing a final random inspection once they've received the finished goods. Example 3, you buy 4 different styles of garments from a good factory. You already know that this factory's workmanship is quite good, but you want an inspector to check all the conformity elements and in particular the measurements because they're garments. You trust this factory, you know them, so inspection level 1 should be enough. These products actually go for quite high prices, so your tolerance for defects is low, 1.5% for major defects and 4% for minor. For garments, generally no critical defects. Fit is quite important, especially for brassiere and briefs, so 3 to 5 samples of each size of those should be measured individually. There are 4 different types of products, remember, so there should be 4 different inspections. You can see them here. Based on the different quantities and code letters that we're seeing in the AQL tables, there are 317 pieces in total, including the different types of clothing. And 63 of those samples also should be measured individually. It will probably take 2 inspectors, perhaps 3, 1 man day to do this inspection. In this case, the best time for these garments to be inspected is during production, after enough finished products have come off the lines. This means that if any of the garments do have issues, we're able to work with the supplier to correct them before they produce all of the many, many garments. Because the 4 products might not be processed at exactly the same time, the inspectors might come at different times to conduct the inspection when the products are being made. If an inspection of garments in this fashion is failed, a re-inspection can probably be performed at the supplier's charge. So let's wrap it all up. Product inspections are critical for importers who take securing their supply chain seriously. There are 2 types of inspection, those that catch problems early and those that verify product quality before shipments. These complement each other quite well. You can start checking quality as early as when just around 5% of the production is complete. The earlier it's checked, the more likely major issues can be stopped before they have serious effects on the production run. The final random inspection, conducted quickly when production is finished and 80% packed, is the most popular product inspection, although this can be conducted in conjunction with other inspections too. So we've come to an end of when to inspect, and indeed looked at some of the product inspections which may be useful for you. Hopefully you're now, after seeing all 3 parts of quality control basics, ready to start seriously conducting QC inspections and getting a very tight control over your quality. Thanks for joining us on these slideshows, and we will see you next time.